Hello students, today we'll start with the revision of green building. As your examinations are coming near, let us recall everything what is there in your syllabus so that you get well prepared for your examination. Today we'll start with indoor environmental quality, the revision of that. It is one of your fifth unit of your syllabus. So I'll share PPT presentation with you. Then I'll explain. So let us start with the indoor environmental quality. That is the fifth unit of your syllabus. So what is indoor environmental quality and how is it connected with the green building? So the subject, I'll remind you the subject what I'm taking, hope you have not forgotten it. It is green building. So how is indoor environmental quality connected with the green building? As you all have studied, there are various strategies to achieve the green efficiency in a building. So indoor environmental quality is one of the strategy required for the green building. The better indoor environmental quality is one of the strategy of the green building. So in to create a better indoor environmental quality is one of the strategy. So what is indoor environmental quality? Indoor environmental quality is nothing but the quality of the environment inside the building which helps the health and well-being of the occupants. Indoor environmental quality is nothing but it is the quality of the environment created inside the building which affects the health and well-being of the occupants of the building. So that is the definition of the indoor environmental quality. So we are going to discuss what are the factors which govern the indoor environmental quality. So let us discuss which are the factors which govern or which affect the indoor environmental quality. Now, I have just listed down the points or the listed down the factors which affect the indoor environmental quality. The first one you can see here, adequate ventilation and exhaust. And I'll just name down the factors and later on we'll discuss in detail. So adequate ventilation and exhaust is the first factor. Daylighting, then the thermal condition, cleanliness, acoustics, construction air quality management, ergonomics, entryway systems, and finish. So these are the some of the factors which govern or which affect the indoor environmental quality. You can see here the flow diagram which indicates what are the factors which are connected with it. So this is the indoor environmental quality. So you have the sound quality which affects the indoor environmental quality. There is a lighting quality which affects the indoor environmental quality. So the comfort of the occupants is a criteria of indoor environmental quality. The quality of the air is very important in the indoor environmental quality, and the odor quality is also important in the indoor environmental quality. So in the later slides, we'll just discuss one by one in detail. As you know here, the first one is adequate ventilation and exhaust. So you know what is the ventilation? What is ventilation? It is nothing but the exchange of air. What do you mean by exchange of air? It is removal of used air and supply of fresh air into the building. That is nothing but ventilation. So is it connected with the indoor environmental quality? Yes, it is connected with the indoor environmental quality. So if your spaces inside the building are not well ventilated, naturally the people residing in the building may not feel comfortable. If you do not have enough ventilation into the building, they do not feel comfortable. They may feel suffocated in the building. So adequate ventilation is very important for maintaining the indoor environmental quality. As I said, ventilation is nothing but the exchange of air, that is supply of fresh air and removal of used air. Then what is exhaust? Exhaust is nothing but, again, you know what is mechanical exhaust, where all it is used. You have the kitchen where you have mechanical exhaust. So we want to just remove the air from the kitchen and supply the fresh air. Even in the toilets, mechanical exhaust is used. So, to maintain the hygienic conditions inside the building, adequate ventilation and exhaust are very much essential, and this is one of the very factor which affect the indoor environmental quality. So, second factor here in this slide, you can see daylighting. Is daylighting important for a building? What do you mean by daylighting? The daylighting means you should not depend on artificial lighting even during the daytime. So why? Because we have a lot of solar energy available which we can use to light our buildings. But what happens in many of the buildings, they are dependent on artificial lighting even during the daytime. So, by relying on artificial lighting, again, we are increasing the greenhouse gas effect. And always the natural resources or natural sources are always better than the artificial sources. When we have enough solar energy available, solar light is available, we can utilize it and provide the proper lighting to the all the parts of the building. That is the responsibility of an architect or a designer of a building. So which is the next factor which affects the indoor environmental quality? So you can see here thermal condition. What is thermal condition? So you know that thermal efficiency is also one of the strategy of the green building which has to be achieved. What is thermal efficiency? Thermal efficiency is nothing but maintaining the optimum thermal condition inside the buildings in all the seasons. We know that we have a various seasons. We have winter, we have summer, we have rainy season. So winter, it is very cold. We want the building to be warm in the winter. How is it possible? That is, we want the outside environment should not affect the inside environment much. So that should be the criteria in designing the buildings. In the summer, we know that the temperature is very high. So, and naturally the people residing inside the building, they feel very hot and they feel very uncomfortable. So what can be done to it to maintain the thermal condition? So uh, thermal condition is one of the factor which greatly affects the indoor environmental quality. The occupants inside the building should feel comfortable in all the seasons of the year. So what are the materials to be used? And we have to study the wind direction, we have to study the sun direction, and based on that we are supposed to give the windows and ventilators, and also the insulations to be provided to the walls. All this matters in designing any building. So as an architect or as a designer, to create a better thermal condition inside the building is very much important. And there should be a blend of natural and artificial systems to create a comfortable thermal condition in the building. So in the summer, we may need to depend on HVAC systems to have a comfortable condition inside the building. So you know the directions of sunlight. So south and west walls are heated much during the summer. So what can be done to those walls? Whether we can do the insulation, or can we go for the trees on that side so that the building remains cooler? And even the roof is the one which transmits more heat into the building. What can be done to the roof also we have studied. So creating a better thermal condition is very important in the design of the building, or it is one of the factor which governs the indoor environmental quality. So cleanliness, how cleanliness is is it a factor which governs the indoor environmental quality? Yes. So if wherever you are staying in, whether it may be a workplace, whether it may be an institution, or it may be a house, if it is not clean, naturally the people who are residing there may not feel comfortable. And it is unhygienic also. Nowadays, we have heard of the virus coronavirus, which can be uh, avoided by being clean, by sanitizing, by cleaning our hands. Naturally, we can fight with the coronavirus. The same way, many things are there, many bacterial infections, many viral infections are connected with the cleanliness. And your respiratory problems also are there due to unclean atmosphere. So naturally, keeping the building premises clean, keeping the interiors of the building clean, make the people comfortable and they can work in a better way. So that is also one of the factor which governs the indoor environmental quality. Next factor is acoustics. So how does acoustics help in maintaining the indoor environmental quality? So many a times I have told you the noise pollution created inside the building makes the people uncomfortable. So we want a quiet atmosphere for our better performance. For example, I can give you an example. When we are sitting in the staff room in our college, you will be making hell of the noise in the classrooms. So by that noise, we will not be able to work in the staff room. So naturally, acoustical comfort is also required for the better performance of the people. So for that, even the materials also affect the transmission and absorption of the sound. So that way, even the selection of the materials in the places where the sound is there is very important uh, in the maintaining the indoor environmental quality. So the next factor is construction air quality management. What is construction air quality management? So we know that surrounding our building, beside the building, in front of the building, or behind the building, there may be some construction activities which go on. So due to construction, you know that there will be a lot of dust, so which comes and accumulates inside the building. So the, you know, the working with the cement and the cutting of tiles, building the walls, everything creates a lot of dust. So that can be avoided by just closing the windows, ventilators, the openings which are towards the construction site. So by this we can maintain the indoor environmental quality, or else it creates a very unhealthy condition inside the building. Ergonomics is nothing but creating a better work spaces for the people who are working to reduce their stress and strain. So everything matters here, even thermal condition, the comfortable furnitures, and everything matters in ergonomics. So creating a better working spaces for the people who are staying in the building is nothing but ergonomics. It's the overall conditions created. The next one is entryway systems. How entryway systems affect the indoor environmental quality. Entryway systems is, we know that we go out and come back to the building. So by this procedure we are carrying a lot of dust into the buildings, so this can be avoided, and even the outside atmosphere has a lot of dust which can be avoided by providing the grills, grates, and by putting a proper mats so that the dust does not enter into the building. So designing a proper entryway systems with the grills, grates is very important for maintaining the indoor environmental quality, to avoid the dust entering into the building. The next one, the last one is finish. So finish means the finish of the floor, the finish of the wall, the finish of the ceiling, the finish of the furnitures. All this matters in maintaining the indoor environmental quality. So if there is a better finish, naturally the aesthetics of the interiors will be good, and the people who are staying may feel more comfortable, and they may work in a better way. So even the finishes inside the building, all the finishes should be proper so that it maintains the indoor environmental quality. The other things are, you have adhesives, we are using the cleaners, we are using the some cleaning like phenyl, many other things in the house. Even those have a lot of volatile organic compounds, VOCs, which are left into the air and we inhale them, that also affect the health of the people. So even the paints also, adhesives and paints also, they release the VOCs. So we have to be selective in selection of the cleaners in the building so that it does not affect the health of the people in the building. So lastly, we can just see this bubble diagram which shows the various factors which are connected with the indoor environmental quality. So you know that we have discussed the quality of the air, the ergonomics, the sound quality, and the microorganisms. That is, by creating the clean environment, we can reduce the microorganisms. Odor is nothing but the smell that can be avoided by providing the proper ventilation as well as the exhaust. So the lighting comfort, if the building is very dark also we are not comfortable. If the building is does have a lot of glare also, we are not comfortable. So proper lighting should be provided to the building so that the people are comfortable there. Hygiene, thermal comfort, vibrations, water quality, everything is very important in maintaining the indoor environmental quality. So by this, we are just finishing the factors which governs the indoor environmental quality. Next, we'll just discuss in the next presentation, we'll just discuss what are the design guidelines to maintain the indoor environmental quality. So I'm just ending the slideshow.